Good morning, YouTube. We're in the sunny Gold Coast at the moment. We're about to take down this big tree up here. That massive tree there. We're going to take that down today, and pretty straightforward removal. Over the top of the house there, we've got to try and not to hit that house and those power lines. And the power lines over there, got to watch those power lines. And Mary's car, whoever it is, Mary and Freddie's car, got to watch those too. So got a bit of a few obstacles to avoid, but they should be pretty straightforward. I'd say probably 3.5 hours we should have this one done. On to the next job. We've got Danny over there setting up the cherry picker. He's setting up the cherry picker to so we can get up there and rock and roll. Here's Ben here, gonna set up our brake system on the base of the tree, and yeah, we'll rock and roll. Look at this beautiful view from up here. We're only about 60 feet, because as you can see, you've got the Gold Coast along there. You've got all the beautiful view of Gold Coast right along the front there. This is what I have to put up with. How terrible. This is not good at all, but I love it. Anyway, we better get this tree down and start doing some work, I suppose. And the good part is that I'm allowed to drop the trees and the branches on top of the roof, because they're demolishing all these buildings. So one would probably say, why didn't I pull the tree down on top of the building? The problem with that is you've only got to get someone to drive past and take photos, and all of a sudden it's on YouTube that Kiwi Tree Lopping smashed some buildings, blah blah blah. So no, I'm not going to do that. So let's rock and roll. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up 2 pulleys, one on the main trunk here, and purely just for another safety device. Instead of just having one pulley and sling, this is the one that takes the main amount of pressure, and the other one will be just for a directional purpose only. So when we do direct winching is simply direct winching is simply winching straight from the tree straight into the chipper in one movement. And we'll perform that, and you see how we go. You have to watch too, see, when you get workers working down below you, that when you're working with pulleys like this, or even the smaller pulleys, that you really want to wait till they get right out of the way, because anything can happen. I can drop this pulley, and if I drop this pulley, forget the helmet, it'll go straight through the helmet and out through the other side of that person. So you really want to make sure they're really right out of the way, because anything can happen. And in this game it tends to happen. Well, this doesn't happen by dropping stuff on people, but it can happen at any given time. The lack of concentration, blah blah blah. So yeah, just take extra care when you're doing this. And most tree loppers know out there that there's always that element of danger in our game, especially climbers up a tree. We all know what it's about when it comes to risks and so forth. So So you always try and take that little bit of extra care and always say to yourself, what if? What if it doesn't go right? What am I going to do? What's the plan? What's the plan B? Not just cut and away you go and hope for the best. So we'll set up this pulley. So there's no reason here, what I'm doing now, there's no reason for me to do 3 limbs at once, or 4 limbs at once, or 5 limbs at once, direct winching into the chipper. The only problem with today, until about 8:30, we're one man down. One of my workers will be arriving late. So I'm not going to put that much pressure on my guy on the chipper to, you know, to have to contend with 3 or 4 limbs at once. So we'll just do one at a time, and you'll see what I mean when we direct winch. The way I set it up here, it should go all the way into the jaws of the chipper in one movement. My guy on the chipper should get the jaws to grab and then release the rope and send the winch and lowering rope up at the same time. And then we repeat that process again. Winch rope. So as you guys know, when you're chipping, there's a certain distance before it'll enter into the jaws of the chipper. So what I try and do is I try and get it in such a way so that he only has to take these ropes off when it's in the jaws of the chipper. So he's not having to muck around with it after that. Other than probably just nicking it, giving it a bit of a nick so it folds up. So at the moment he'll take up the tension a little bit on the chipper.